that we had, since the so-called, what's it called, independence, which you and I know that we're not independent. Because if the most populous Black country can get itself and become what it is meant to be, there's no reason for any so-called Nigerian to be outside the country in the first place, because we know that we have the capacity and the ability to do more than even the world gives us credit for. Okay, now there was something that I really want to appreciate you, Mayego, because I think I started watching your show over a year ago, all right, and your show, your broadcast really makes me think. I really start to think about the world we live in and the things that are going on in the world today, and I've come to that conclusion that you see this so-called democracy that have been sold to us, right? It is not valuable to us in any way, shape, or form. At the end of the day, because I feel like democracy is a smoke screen that they use so that one person can be in power and they can have some kind of serious dictatorship without being a dictatorship, a dictatorship without the appearance of being a dictatorship under the guise of democracy is what we have going on in Africa and in most countries, even here in America. Whether if they choose to acknowledge it or not, that is up to them. I see democracy as a big farce. The center, especially in Nigeria, the center is too powerful. It is too strong. It needs to be neutralized.
Even if they say democracy is about the people, we all know that people who are supposed to be the center point of that democracy, they are not in true essence of
Absolutely.
it.
Exactly, in the true sense of it, right? The people have never been in power. It's they told us that it is government by the people for the people, or by the people for the people, or something like that, right? But that has never been the case.
No.
What we've always had is one person telling us, and then all of us gathering together instead of realizing what our power is. That when they tell us these things, but we know that we're the majority and we know that whatever they're telling us is the wrong thing, we just sit down and fold our arms. This is why we are here where we are. Right? Even as a people, you've been sold this idea that you elect leaders.
Important. By calling a periodic election, that makes you think you are important. You are part of it. Or in America, corporations decide your elections. In Africa, the same capitalist, neo-colonialist, they determine who rule laws. And the people are just made to believe that they are part of it, when they are not.
Absolutely. Good, you know what? And I said that, just listening to your show on a daily basis, and you start to think and you realize that democracy is just a piece of rubbish. It doesn't work anywhere. And it is just an illusion that has been sold to people, especially in Africa, that, you as a people can choose and can decide and can do this and do that. But we know we're not doing any of that. So I think this my little rant is really for when we break up the contraption, because the contraption has to be broken up, right? Or when we now decide on regional government, please, people out there, when it happens, look for another form of governance, not democracy, not whatever it is that they're selling to us.
Even if you have to kind of have the democracy, it should be your own African themed.
It should be
democracy.
It should be the kind, and I will say that the center should never be as strong as it is in Nigeria. It should not. The center should never be this strong. And the more people you have, the more people those so-called corporations will find it difficult to bribe everyone. You can't bribe everyone. As long as you make it important that there are more people that that speak to a decision being made, right? You're going to find it difficult. But once you have like a leader or a so-called center that is strong and that can be easily manipulated, then you will have you will not be able to. You can't decide. You can't be in a position of strength and be decisive, because there are other people who are more powerful than you decided. But when you make that center weak, very weak, right? That even if they come and bribe them, they know that they're bribing. That's their own business. It's try your luck, because maybe that person cannot convince thousands of people that okay, they should go this way, because everyone has their own mind and there's an understanding that this decision is going to be a collective one as opposed to one person. My dear, that is my rant for today.
I mean, you've let it out. I like that too, right? Democracy is considered a deceit to so many people. Others are saying, well, when I was in secondary school, right, and I happened to be one of the best students in government in my school days, right? So usually when they tell you about types of government, they will tell you advantages, disadvantages, or merits, demerits, right? So to some people, they believe that the disadvantages of democracy outweighs the advantages. But because democracy is a system of government that gets so much PR, so everybody just kind of moved with it and say, it's not perfect.
But I mean, you're 40. You're 40 years old now, right? 40 years and more, and you've been doing this for a long time. I think my understanding is you've been doing it
for nearly 12 years now. Yes,
for nearly 12 years now, and you've been looking not only at the political situation in Nigeria or in Africa. You've been looking at the politics around the world.
Yes.
You can see the manipulation that even goes on in mainstream media. The manipulation that went on in mainstream media is just, is now.
Exactly.
And this has been happening even down to the education that we're receiving, and especially removing things like critical thinking. Removing things like critical thinking then does easily allows people to be manipulated, to be, to start some people don't even know their own mind. Some people are reacting. They don't even know why they're reacting. Like you rightfully somebody said, "Oh, I hate Igbo people," or "I hate Yoruba people." Ask the person, "Why do you hate Igbo people? Why do you hate Yoruba people?"
They are heard that the Igbos are always like, the Yorubas are always like that. But you. What's your experience? Tell us why.
What's your own experience? Tell us why you.
I just hear that they hate our people. No, listen. Fine, you heard Abi. What is your own view about them? They can't tell you.
They can't tell you, and that's what I've realized there. And even as a child, I will be honest with you, growing up, whenever I noticed that there was a whole lot of movement around you liking a certain thing, or you liking a certain person, or you liking a certain program and everything, I always used to go the other way. I don't know why, because I just felt like, why do
all of us are facing the same side? Like something is not right.
Why do you want me to face the same direction? I will face the other way. Let me see how far I go. Highest, if I end up in a way that I'm not supposed to end up, I can turn around and follow the masses.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to follow everybody. You say, but no, you need to listen to. I say, no, I'm not. No, because that's how it should be as a human being, right? You should be able to make some decisions for yourself. Question your own judgments, right?
Absolutely.
That's what life should be. But in the world we live today, where everybody is expected to behave like a robot.
Exactly.
And if you behave any way different, you are called a rebel. That's not right.
You're called a rebel. You're called they call you all kinds of names.
Yeah.
When all you have done is actually
think outside the box.
Think for your own self. Something that is God given to you. Your ability to think for yourself and to decide for yourself. Yeah. And I feel like democracy, the way it is done today, strips you of the power to decide for yourself which way you want to go. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying that going forward, this branch is not even about Nigeria, because I feel like the place should be, uncoupled. Let the different regions start to govern themselves. But whilst they're governing, let's remember that this democracy doesn't work for us. It has never worked for us. It is something that was given to us, not for our own benefit, but for the benefit of the people giving it to us, right?
Thank you, John.
It has to be something that, when we decide on our own, that we should do it a different way, a way that doesn't give people power over us, going forward.
I like that. You should have a wonderful weekend, okay? And it's such a pleasure to hear from you again, right?
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Take care.
Cheers, you too. That's a charm, our lady. And I have got this, my brother here, all hail Biafra, all hail Oduduwa. E82, thank you. I also have on the line with us tonight the Prince Jeje Man, representing. Is it there? Hello, can you hear me? Right. So we probably have a problem connecting that call. So I'm going to say to those of us who are still here with us, remember, if you haven't really liked the broadcast, okay, please do now, right? Please, because the program is going to come to an end in the next 20 minutes max, or even before that, okay? You do not want to miss out totally if you haven't really liked that, okay? So thank you. And yeah, the African Wahala. I think if the individual that tried to get to me earlier, you know, I'm not trying to make anyone uncomfortable, okay? I have told you all here that on Mayegun's Diary Political, right, we are adults, okay? And you can disagree with me, but don't ever insult my intelligence, okay? You can say, I disagree with that. Mayegun, I saw some people who said, nobody should thank them, they are just doing their job. Great, if that's how you feel. But don't turn around and begin to kind of point fingers at me and say, you, Mayegun, that's very low. And I don't like reading or seeing people say that. Because most of you, most people say things, right? And they say them just simply because sometimes they want you to possibly just be or think the way they feel. I don't know how you feel. All right. Mayegun's Diary Political is not to groom you to be an ignorant, ignorant hater. You can be an hater of the entire system. The reason why some of you would say yourselves here that I dislike the contraption is because you have enough reasons to say, I don't like this contraption. But do not turn around and then face Mayegun, the supposed teacher, and begin to point fingers at me. I'm suspecting you. If you're suspecting me, don't be on my platform. I'm not here to convince you to possibly agree with me all the time. No. But if you disagree with me on principle and all of that, I will respect that. Okay? It's like somebody who says, when you are abusing yourselves, when we're in primary schools, right? I remember that. But this one is a joke, okay? They say, look at your head like a Agbaluma. Oh, look at your nose like your own nose like a trailer. Say, look at your eyes like that of so and so. Oh, look at your leg be like a chewing stick. Oh, look at your neck be like a turning stick. And then the next thing is like, look at you. You look like Tipumbu. Say, hey, Abogun won't kill you. In your life, don't ever say I look like Tipumbu. You automatically take offense. That's exactly what it is like when somebody look at me and say, I say, you don't like this Nigeria. Are you insulting me? That one is something I won't forget. So I don't like people say that to me because you have no reason to say that to me other than just because you probably feels like I am not saying things you want me to say or how you want me to say it. Like I said, we are all adults, okay? Don't ever in your life, for any reason, try to turn around and say, I'm suspecting you this Mayegun. If you suspect me, don't be on my platform. Get the hell out of here. Okay? It's as simple as that. Like they say, he who you work with, he who you befriend, don't suspect them. The one you suspect, don't befriend them. Okay? So don't come onto my platform and then begin to point and make some baseless accusations like, because I have actually shown you something that I thought you should see. Then you can one-on-one, CSC will start for maybe 500, another 500, add another 500, 2,000 within a short within a minute. You could wonder, say, Papa Kilode, anything you a jet yo. If anybody wants him, I say, I can see that you are beginning to love Nigeria. Show me insult me. Hello. Something is really wrong. Can you hear me?
All hell Biafra, all hell Oduduwa.
All hell Biafra, all hell Oduduwa. Something is wrong with Prince Jejeman's line. Sometimes I pick his call, and suddenly, right, it just got off. How you doing, Baba? You took his place.
I'm good. Yeah, representing IPOB.
Exactly. I'm saying that again because I don't know if he's still there, unfortunately. But it's good to have you too. How are you, Baba?
Yes, it's been a while. I took a little break. I was a little burnt out, working behind the scenes. There's things I can't talk about, but it's very treacherous. My God, it's very, very treacherous.
It's good that you are back. At least adding your voice as usual, man.
Yes. You need that daily dose of Mayagu, you know what I mean, to keep the mind balanced,
At least, even if it's just a little.
Yeah. Yeah, those that is I guess second guessing you or questioning you.
No,
You know
that's
what I mean?
something
I'm sure they
people,
probably.
there were the time that people come onto my platform to plant doubts, right?
Yeah.
They will say, some will be like, well, this Mayegu is a Yoruba man. I don't trust Yoruba. If you don't trust Yoruba, get the hell out of my platform. Others will come and say, well, this Mayegu, if they give him money now, it will change. People do. I mean, I've had people who come in and said, Mayegu, please don't change. I usually take that and say, well, okay, thank you for saying that, but I mean, come on. That's a direct insult for you to look at me and say, after 12 years of taking these guys to the cleaners, right?
Yeah.
Then you look at me and say, Emayegun, please, don't change you. And I'm like, okay, all right, okay, I'll take that. But and don't say that to me again. Because it's an indirect way of saying, I don't really trust you. Then I'm like, but again, it is what it is.
My good, don't take it as an insult. You know what it is also is being that they're from that contraption, that zoological contraption.
Experiences as well. So that's why I don't really take that much as insult.
Yes.
Like I've seen people who have been so very ardent critic of these guys, only to end up as their praise singers. I get it, right?
Yes.
But sometimes the way people kind of say it, you know, is pretty much like, no, come on, man.
I mean, you've been tested and tried, you know, so at this point, yeah. But, you know, we come from a place in that region where no one trusts their shadow, you know?
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really bad. It's awful. It's awful that goes on in that place. And I mean, people talk about, maybe we should bring it to a regional thing. There's nothing, no such thing as regional, nothing. The best solution is break it down. We cannot be part of an entity called Nigeria.
No.
It doesn't work. It's cursed. It's designed to be a failure and only benefit those the so-called leaders are the puppets, and the real master is the Britain.
Yep.
You know, and you know what I mean. So yes, and the West. So no matter what, it's not going to be fixed. I was talking to somebody 2 days ago in New York City.
Right.
I just listened to him. He just talked and talked and talked. My God, I tell you, like for 30 minutes, he just kept talking. You know how we should be together. I know you guys suffered, you know, but you know, if we could get rid of these leaders, we could actually make this place better. I asked him, so what's the reason why you're in America right now? Why the reason why I'm in America right now? Is because if our place was good, we all would have been back there. We wouldn't have ventured out.
That's right.
You know? So, and he just recently, and then he was telling me how he worked in the government in Abuja, and then they did something, and then he bought a property, and then they end up trying to take his property and things like that. Mind you, that he even have paperwork for it. It happened to him, but still, it happened to him. But some of these people, you have to understand that they suffer from PTSD. You think they're on the right page with you as you're reasoning with them. In 1 second, they switch back to that old mentality and actually propping up for a better Nigeria. So I also asked them like this: either you for it or you're not for it, or for the breakup for it.
There's no in between.
Yeah, there's no in between, because we've gone through this for over 60-something years. It hasn't gone further. We haven't even moved up, you know, where we could say, yeah, we have progress. Rather, we're digressing and going back. Because, you know, if you've done your research, even before they amalgamated the entity called Nigeria in 1914, even before that, it was still bad. It's just now that we're more aware of what's going on and we're doing our research. The proof is in the pudding. Nothing has changed about Nigeria. It's still the same thing. It's just another year. The same nonsense. Same crooks. Same tribalism. Same religious, you know, daddy geos. Everybody's a mafia there. You know? So let's stop talking about, doing this. We need to break that place up, and it's actually breaking in front. Tinubu leaves the country, doesn't tell anybody, and then boom, we have people watching. We have eyes all over now. It's not like before, where they could just say anything and get away with it.
Yeah.
We have social media. We have our phone. Our phone is the most powerful tool ever.
It is the
so they could sneak out the country.
Man.
Yes.
Especially for me, supposedly from Nigeria, making use of the internet and social media. It is the greatest invention that if we embrace it, our liberty, our freedom can actually be